everybody. This is Digital Soundbabe here with Marv at Super Best Audio Friends. We are here today to go over the Gungnir 2 with the TA66, along with the Modius and the new unit from Schiit Audio, the Mimir.
Yeah, we just snagged that, or I just snagged that the Mimir yesterday, right? That's the
release date yesterday.
Latest and greatest thing, right?
Yep. Forkbeard compatible. Yeah, let's. So we gave it a good listen. First of all, we gave it a listen to with the Gungnir first. So these two first. What came from the Gungnir is, a lot of sound clarity, good for the bass. A lot more detail out of it, because I guess it's because it's a bigger unit. More detail comes out of bigger units, I suppose.
Yeah. I think well. Let's back up a little bit. I think the reason we're comparing to the Gungnir is like the Mimir, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of like, it's got like part of the old Modius.
Yeah.
Right? Because it uses the same size, right? It uses the same ESS chip for digital analog conversion, but the difference is it uses the Schiit digital filter. I'm just going to call it the Megacomboburrito filter or whatever, or
encapsulates it all.
True something, I don't know, I think it's called True multi-bit,
yeah.
Except it's not a multi-bit unit, right? It uses the same, so the Mimir uses the same DA conversion as the old Modius, but it has Schiit's custom filter, which is kind of interesting because, in the past, Schiit has only really offered their custom filter with their higher end or middle end products, right?
Okay.
I mean, this is like starting at much higher price points. So
yeah, but this isn't really expensive. It's like
what's like
$2.99? Yeah, $2.99.
Yeah. So
like breaking the bank there.
yeah, so just kind of wanting to get a sense of things. That's why we have this unit, and then we kind of have the old Modius, right? Yeah. So going back to, we started here, right?
Yeah,
we
started
the best,
here.
Right?
This is the best. Like I said before, more texture, more detail. The bass is more lively, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
We like starting out with good sounding stuff, and then we like doing comparative onward down to that. So nothing really, new to report for the Gungnir. For those of you who have the Gungnir 2, really high detail, good bass, more punch, more detail, more lively, I guess, crisper.
Yeah, and we had an old video of comparing the Gungnir to a bunch of other Schiit DACs too, right? So
yeah, so you want to go there and check it out, the Gungnir.
Yeah.
And then we went from the Gungnir to the
old Modius.
The Modius.
Yes.
We listened to the Modius only, which is on the bottom here. So not really a big fan of Modius. It was really flat to me. The music that I was listening to was very flat, and it was a wide range of music, classical, music that had bass in it, rock a little bit. All of it sounded really flat to me.
Was it kind of flat in, both ways, more like, dynamically in terms of volume, and also flat in terms of, what they say, headstage?
Yeah, well, headstage, surround sound, whatever.
Yeah.
It wasn't, because I felt the music was kind of just in front of me. It wasn't really like all around me, kind of.
Yeah. I think it was shocking. I mean, the Modius isn't a bad unit, and in fact, I know in the past, I've recommended it, with similar size units such as the 092 or the Pietus Maximus from Niche Audio. At that.com. Yeah, you have that on your desk.
I got that on my desk actually.
And you thought it was great sounding until you hear something better.
Yeah,
right?
That's how it works. Yeah, usually it's how it works.
Right. Yeah. But I think it was really stark because all of a sudden I kind of felt and this is every piece of music. I'm not going to say anything specific, but in terms of the staging, you might hear the vocalist kind of here, and then the other instruments back there, and then other stuff in space. And then with this, it was kind of surprising because I knew it was kind of flat. The stage is flat, right? But I thought it'd be further up, but it wasn't. It was like squished up here.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. No.
And I was like, oh, everything's so squished in front of me. It's like this, right?
Yeah, nobody likes being in there. It's like a personal bubble violation, I guess. Everyone knows how awkward that feels. Personal bubble.
So and it not only that, it kind of made everything mush together.
Yeah, it didn't. It was very soft sounding, very squishy.
Soft, right?
Yeah.
Soft. Even the bass is kind of squishy,
Blah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
not really too. It was just kind of boring.
Yeah.
Bass was kind of like blah.
I think overall the sound is boring, but I mean this does tend to be very engaging, right? The Gungnir 2
Yeah, the
we know
Gungnir.
we've always known it to be a very engaging sounding DAC.
Yeah.
You know the Modius at that level. I mean huge price point differential, right? Between
The Gungnir 2 and the
yeah
the Modius, of
1800
course.
or 300.
Yeah,
You know
pretty
I
much.
mean it but there is such a stark difference, right?
Oh yeah.
And I think what we're getting to is next is
the Mimir, which is why it's we're excited about it, is because it sounds very similar in sound quality to the Gungnir, but not to the price point of breaking the bank. Like we said, this is the Mimir is $299 versus the Gungnir is like what, $1,300?
yeah. And I think I was amazed because it's like 80% of this.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
like it's very minute from what I found when I listened to these two, very minute differences, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Like, so the Mimir, you know, full surround sound, I felt had full surround sound instead of right here. It was behind here, in front, foreground, middle ground, background. A lot of good bass coming from it. The transitions were good. Very crisp, clear sounding music, pretty much. And, you know, I like hearing that from my music. You know, I like getting into it, kind of like feel like when I first bought it or when I first heard it, or heck, even for those of us out there who've gone to concerts, kind of want to bring back those memories, those feelings of being right there again, you know, kind of nostalgic, those feelings again, even if we're just sitting in our home listening. We want to feel that.
Yeah.
And this, I feel,
provides
that pretty much.
Did you feel that there are any significant differences in terms of the head stage, or they're pretty much identical?
They were pretty damn near identical. Like you would
98%, right?
Yeah, 98%.
In terms of the space, the feeling of space, the dimensionality, the 3D effect, sort of.
Yeah, exactly. Very, 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 very close. Like incredibly close.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't have to turn it up too loud. I liked it.
Yeah.
I didn't have to turn it up too loud. I don't know. Does it make a difference with what kind of headphones we're listening to?
I think it
as
might.
well?
I think it might. You know, that amp works really well with that headphone, so you can hear a lot of differences very easily.
Okay.
That's a really great headphone for listening to things with you know that are listening for space head stage.
Okay.
I do think this is better, but you know, how do you think the Gungnir 2 was better than the Mimir? Like, where did it beat it?
It beat it a little bit more, just not too much, but a little bit. The Gungnir had a little bit more bass, you know, kind of made it feel a little bit more uppity, I guess.
A little bit punchier,
Yeah.
a little bit more exciting.
Yeah.
A little bit more dynamic, right, in the bass.
Yeah.
I thought the bass quality was a little bit better. The Mimir still had the filter helped, right? The Megacomboburrito filter helped with the bass, but it was still a little bit mushy. It still had a little bit of Modius.
A little bit.
Yeah, it was better than Modius, you know, but it wasn't. The bass is better here.
Yeah.
I thought the textures with listening to the bass were better.
Mm-hmm.
Just overall better, and I also felt that maybe little fine detail, you know, particularly the decays, you know, this did a little bit better.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Same with the vocals, just a little bit more,
And
clear.
this was a little bit more engaging.
Yeah.
You know, but it's getting scary close. Yeah, I mean, it's getting scary close. I mean,
exactly. Like, if you can, like, you can't really go wrong with the Mimir or Gungnir. It just depends on what you're willing to, how much you're willing to part with.
Yeah, I mean,
and the space in your area.
You know, we haven't covered. You know, we're just covering sound right now. I think in a later video we could probably cover some of the Forkbeard stuff.
Oh yeah, the Forkbeard qualities, what it does, you know, how it adds to your unit. Yeah, so Schiit has a video on how the Forkbeard works with that unit. We can cover it later. Yeah.
It has some cool stuff. It's actually got a 3-band EQ. Talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah.
It's got volume control.
Yeah, from your phone.
Yeah, from your phone.
I think they're working on it, and I think latest update they're trying to get Android on it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So it's in the works, people.
Android this summer.
Yeah, be more patient, be a little bit more patient.
Yeah, I'm an Android user, so.
I'm an Apple.
No, I still have my iPhone around just for my
Just for the
Forkbeard.
Forkbeard only.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll definitely do that later.
Yeah.
But
But-
overall, thoughts?
I mean, the thoughts is where does the Modius stand? Because I mean, I think the filter just improved the you know the old Modius
Yeah.
by like a million times, right?
Okay.
I mean, I felt this.
Thought-wise, if you have a Modius, third-party sell it,
Yeah, sell it on eBay. And,
something. Yeah.
yeah.
Or if
You
if
can't
you don't
just
want
throw it away. Just throw it away.
Oh no 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 no!
No, throw it away.
No.
Throw it away. But,
Yeah, throw it away, but do it eco-friendly wise. You know,
I mean,
wherever you hail from, you gotta follow the protocol
what?
for throwing away
Like
electronic shit.
e-waste or whatever.
Something.
Well, not just gonna be sent on a boat to someplace in Africa or China, and then you're gonna have like these, you know, these Oompa Loompas pick apart the.
True, but even they need to, you know, go through the stuff and pick it out, and then they sell it back to us. It's like a circle
really?
thing. It's like a circle.
No,
of
I'm
life
not
kind of thing.
convinced. I've heard reports that e-waste just kind of stays around forever, where it goes in the same garbage dump that
Yeah,
food trucks,
but the
you're
workable stuff.
recycling, and then it goes back to the you know.
They just move it around,
yeah,
possibly.
They just move it around. Yeah.
But at least they can, you know, when we do ship it otherwise, you know, they can recycle whatever that is usable, and then they just sell it back to the United States for a pretty penny.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of a difficult thing, but we've always known that, you know, Schiit has never been afraid to kind of cannibalize their own products when they come up with something better.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So if you guys have a Modius, if you can return it within the time frame or whatever.
No, you can't return it. You can't return it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or get rid of it, or sell it third party, and then.
Yeah, just.
Yeah, either the
give it to your
cleaner
friends.
or
Yeah,
give it
friends
to
and
your
family.
Yeah, there you go. Here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make it look new, of course. Yeah, then just invest in the Mimir.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents. If you can't do the Gungnir, just go to the Mimir. No harm, no foul on this one. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We will catch you on the flip side, and good luck out there to easy listening to all y'all, and
Yeah.
we'll see you guys later.
And don't forget to subscribe. Like the video, and I think I've got a little thing on Super Best Audio Friends, a conversation on
the
the
Mimir.
payment. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep,
So-
tune in, and for those of you who like Super S Audio Friends, tune into that too to see other videos on the Mimir. Alright, catch you guys later.
All right. Bye. See you guys next time.
Wait, it's off, so it's not. There's no there's no NOS mode, right?
Okay.
So I'm just curious what you think about NOS mode, because there are a lot of big fans of NOS.
Okay.
Like it means no oversampling. It turns off the
Okay.
filter. So I'm wondering what's going to happen.
I'm gonna transition it
Okay.
on or off.
Yeah. The best way to do it is to stop the music and then turn the NOS
Yeah.
mode.
How do you pause the damn fucking music
Oh,
at?
you gotta. There's
Really?
there, right? And
Oh,
then
what a
just
pain in the ass.